allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilor Malonis.
Here.
Bingham.
Here.
Pedri.
Here.
Demas.
Here.
Zadi.
Here.
Hanson.
Here.
Hickerson.
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
Mayor Mickelson.
Okay, could I get nominations for a president?
Your Honor, I'd like to nominate Randy Hanson as temporary president for the night.
Second. I object.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You're in.
Opposed?
Okay, we have the consent agenda. City Council meeting minutes of March 18th, 2025. Planning and Zoning Commission, Steve Hickerson, first term. Sweetwater Economic Development Coalition, John Hay, first term. Joint Powers Combined Communication Board meetings, minutes of January 27th and February 24th of 2025. And Joint Powers Telecom Board meeting minutes of February 20th, 2025. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved, Madam President.
Second?
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain due to my father being one of the nominees.
Okay, and one abstain. Thank you. Okay, that moves us to bid openings.
That's you.
Yes.
She's already got help.
Hey,
You want to give that to Randy?
next time I'll nominate him.
Okay, we want to do first, okay, yeah, weeds. Okay, we have one bid for the weed mitigation project, and it is Weed Management Solutions out of Rock Springs.
Open it for you. You're okay.
Okay, we have a bid bond. Okay, okay, the bid is $7,275.25.
Is that the check?
Yeah.
No, that's the check for the bid bond.
Is that the bid bond? Sorry, that was the bid bond.
I'm like, wow.
Okay,
Second.
okay, the bid amount is $145,500.52. Again, that's $145,500.52.
I like the first number better. I like the first number a lot better.
Okay,
No, we've got the
now we take this.
utility.
Okay, now we have bid openings for the miscellaneous utility project Phase 1A. Okay, the bid is from Jackman Construction. What? How do I know? There is a bid bond enclosed. Thank you. Where did I see the amount? The amount on here? Does that look like the amount? Okay, the bid amount is $2,118,080. Again, that's $2,118,080.
Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to presentations and proclamations. Do we have anyone here for the Sexual Assault Awareness Month? If you'd come up to the podium, please.
Hi, I'm Melinda Boss. I'm the Executive Director at YWCA, and this is Carrie Swenson. She is an advocate at the Victims Advocacy Center. So we are here representing the request for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. We come each year. I joke because we ask for a whole month because ours is a big issue, and it has so many parts and important issues to discuss. What I wanted to do was at least let you know of why we make the big deal and the point of doing this every year, because this is one of the most underreported crimes. It is also one of the hardest ones to address because of the nature of what you're talking about. So if you think about it, in 2024, the Victims Advocacy Center served 34 victims. That may seem small, but remember, this is the most underreported crime. If you want to look back through some statistics and numbers, 63% of these assaults are not even reported. So this will give you a number. If we're seeing that many, how many didn't get reported? Because if you think about it, this is really hard to talk about. Do you really want to tell this kind of story? It's easier to say, my car got broken into, my backyard got vandalized, I can report that. Do you really want to tell a story about sexual assault and have to say it again and again? To the prosecutor, to the judge, to the courtroom, all these different places. It's such a hard thing to do, as well as the fact of just the nature of the crime itself. And so we try to do activities like this around the community and awareness presentations to just encourage people to talk about this. The more we can talk about it, the more willing we are going to be to recognize and support the victims, because that is the key thing we're asking with events like this. So Carrie has brought with her a couple of the buckets that we bring and hand out. We're going to leave these two here for you guys as well at the City Hall. People can grab them. They have bracelets. They have pens. What else do we have? Stickers. Any of these things that talk about an awareness for this. So we encourage everyone to be part of that. There's also two other activities that we use as part of this. One is our Run with the Badges. That is our law enforcement themed event where it is a 5K, 10K walk or run, though we really encourage you to run the 10K, otherwise we'll be there until 1 o'clock. But essentially the idea is to bring the awareness. We collaborate with all 4 law enforcement, so Rock Springs, Green River, Highway Patrol, and the Sheriff's Department. All are part of this. This is on April 26th. So April 26th, we are out in Green River this year. We alternate places. So we'll be at the Island Pavilion, and you can sign up that day or you can do it ahead of time. If you check out the WISE Facebook page, there should be a post in there with our event, and you can find the QR code to get on and register. Registration's really pretty simple. It's just a matter of, do you want a shirt or not? So if you want the shirt, you do need to register ahead of time. If you want to just show up that day, you're more than welcome to do that as well. So we will be there for that event. The other one is more of a public event, and that is Denim Day. And we often promote that one because the idea is Denim Day started in 1999, and it actually came out of the Italian Supreme Court. There was a case charging a man with sexual assault, and the judge in that case ruled that it couldn't have been sexual assault because the woman was wearing tight jeans, and the only way he could have gotten him off is if she helped, and that was consent. And so the women in the legislature at that time were quite upset and quite irritated because this does not match with anything involving these kind of cases. And so they all wore denim. They wore blue jeans the next day to the legislature as a protest. And so that became a day. So on April 30th this year, we encourage everyone to show their support. You basically you wear your jeans, you post it on your Facebook, your thing with the hashtag Denim Day or Denim Day 2025. And that will just show your support as well for the victims. So there's many things you can do. You can certainly support the Victims Advocacy Center. They are every day supporting and helping these victims. They work with them in their offices. They show up at the hospitals when needed. They will talk to them and help them understand the natures of this. But we also say you can do things yourself. This is if you're hearing things, calling someone out. If they're using that kind of language, that negative language, calling names, insulting language, say why. Why are you doing that? Why do you have to talk like that? You may not like the person, but do you have to call them that name? Do you have to say that? Being available and willing when somebody talks to it, because it's 1 in 6 women this will happen to, 1 in 33 men. You're going to know someone. Somewhere in your lifetime, you will know someone that was sexually assaulted. And if they reach out to you, we want you to be a support system for this because they'll more often come to you first before they'll talk to Carrie or I. So we really encourage that. I didn't know if anybody had any questions for us or...
Anybody have any questions?
Madam President, thank you, Melinda, for being here. Appreciate it. I do plan on doing the run with the badges, so
Go.
I will be there. County Attorney's Office reached out to me, so encourage anybody else that wants to. Glad it's a fun run. Not sure if it was a competitive one, I'd be there, but
No, not really competitive. We do make sure we have a runner at the end to make sure everybody gets back.
yeah.
You know, first year we kind of lost track of somebody and we had to make sure we found
Yeah.
them again.
But I appreciate all that you do, bringing awareness to this. Thank you.
Thank you for that. So.
Madam President, I don't know, you didn't say it, but when I was working as an officer, and like you said, a lot of people, mostly women, do not want to report this. I think the law went through while I was still working that even if they didn't want to report it at the time, they could still go to the hospital and get a kit done. And they were assigned an anonymous number, and the kit was taken through the SANE nurses at the hospital.
Right.
That way, even if they don't want to report it at that time, preserve evidence. And it sits there until forever. Until they decide that they want to actually make an official report to law enforcement. So those are just one of the things that helps law enforcement after that.
I believe so. I believe, yeah, I remember hearing about that it was a law because the idea is it's a big thing to report to law enforcement, to make that statement and take that next step. And so I do remember hearing about that they can just do that so that you can preserve the evidence, you can at least make the statement while it's fresh in your mind, but you don't have to make the very big decision of do you or don't you.
Right. They make it to the hospital. It's all anonymous. They don't call us, us. I'm thinking
Law
back years.
enforcement, yeah.
They don't call law enforcement at all if the person does not want to make an official report that time. But if they decide to 6 months from now or however long later, they can do it then, but the evidence is preserved, but they don't have to go out and make the statement, talk to the officers, and worry about talking to the courts and the lawyers and the judges all over again. So it's something that they can just have.
Very true. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was a very good change in the laws. Just to give you an idea, if you remember a case a few years, oh God, this probably was, okay, I could say maybe about 10 years back. His name was Brock Turner. He was arrested. It was a Stanford case where the woman was raped behind a dumpster and was unconscious at the time she was found and later prosecuted. The reason it became a big story was because the boy's dad made a comment of, why are you prosecuting him for just 20 minutes of fun?
Ooh.
And that kind of blew up all over social media and became a huge thing. Well, the victim in that case, it took 3 years from the assault to the conviction. And there was never a trial. It wasn't a trial. It was plea bargains, back and forth, back and forth. So, I mean, you're thinking of that. She had to put her life on hold for 3 years. And that's a huge thing to do. And that's a big commitment. She wrote her story out, and I actually read it. And you're just, how you could believe that that was consensual when she was nearly unconscious. It was actually a couple foreign tourists that actually caught the thing and managed to catch him and her, because she didn't know anything. She was completely unconscious. She was not even coherent. So this is how serious these crimes can be, and why things like that are so important. Because if those people hadn't caught it, she would have never known what happened. She wouldn't have been able to make a statement about who this person was, and they would have had to work it out. So having that ability to go in and report and leave the evidence until you are ready to make such a big decision is important. So,
Okay, we have a proclamation
okay.
that I'll be reading, and then we'll do a picture afterwards.
I was going to offer a suggestion. This
Okay.
happened this morning. There's 3 of us for proclamations and pictures. Do you want to just do each proclamation and then do our pictures all together? So you only have to get up once.
I like it.
Okay, they all like it.
That
Okay.
worked so well this morning for the 3 of us that I thought, hey, I'm going to throw that out there.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, your proclamation is, the City of Rock Springs recognizes the importance of designating a time devoted to increasing public awareness of sexual assault and support of agencies providing services to the survivors of sexual assault. Volunteers and service provides in our community work to provide a continuum of care and services to sexual assault survivors through a 24-hour hotline, counseling, shelter, advocacy, and medical care and education. The WYCA Advocacy Center promotes sexual assault prevention by offering educational presentation to schools, churches, civic organization, as well as professional training and collaboration with medical, mental health, law enforcement, educators, and criminal justice personnel regarding sexual assault issues. The YWCA Victims Advocacy Center requests public support and assistance, as well as hold forth a vision of a community free from sexual violence. Now therefore be resolved that I, Max Mickelson, Mayor of the City of Rock Springs, do hereby declare the month of April 2025 to be Sexual Assault Awareness Month in the City of Rock Springs, and I command the observation of all citizens by urging each to learn what can be done to combat sexual violence and offer prevention measures and support services to survivors. Teal bracelets will be available throughout the community to wear in support of awareness of sexual assault during the month of April. Run with the Badges will be held on Saturday, April 26th. The 5K, 10K run or walk will start at 9 a.m. at the Island Pavilion in Green River. Information booths and refreshments will be offered following the race. Okay? Okay, our next one up is Library Week. Is there anyone here to speak?
Good evening. We do have gifts for you. How would you like us to pass those out? Can we just bring them up?
Yeah,
Ms. May? Okay.
yeah, just bring it.
We'll start.
Here, you can read it from here. I printed it. Could you tell?
No, you did a good job. It's not fair you have to do them all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, we'll just cycle through. Chuck will let them come with us, and then we'll just have a family.
Good evening. I am Lindsay Travis. I'm the director for the Sweetwater County Library System, and I have with me this evening Constance Potts. She is the manager of the Rock Springs Library. Thank you for the opportunity to talk with you this evening. National Library Week is held every April as a way to celebrate the contributions of libraries and librarians to their communities and to encourage the public to come out and use the resources that we have available for them. This year, the Sweetwater County Library System has a lot to celebrate. First of all, we received a big grant last year to renovate a bunch of our meeting rooms, one in each of our 3 main libraries. Those renovations are just now starting and are going to make a big difference in the library system and provide great spaces for patrons to have meetings. It's one of the few places in town that we can have public meetings for free. Last year, 1,500 groups used the library's meeting room spaces. So these renovations will be fantastic improvement for the library system. Also, the county just received a grant to replace the HVAC system at the White Mountain Library. If anybody's been in there recently, or pretty much for the last 10 years, the library system, that library has had heating and cooling problems for quite a while. It's either 85 degrees or it's 60 degrees, depending on what the boiler system decides it wants to do. So this grant, which will pay for half of the replacement of that system, will have cause a significant improvement to the White Mountain Library and make the building sustainable for much longer. So those are very big celebrations that we have right now in the library system. But also our programs that we provide at the library, we have lots of fun programs for people of all ages, from toddler times to programs for adults. We keep seeing an increase in the number of people who are attending those programs. Right now, for this fiscal year, they're up 13% for attendance. So we are providing some great things for our communities. Checkouts of library materials are also continuing to stay steady, and digital materials are going up significantly. But overall, your local libraries are busy providing books, educational programs, digital resources, internet access, technology, and meeting spaces for all community members, regardless of age, income, or background. We are coordinating early literacy programs such as toddler times and story times, offering programs for school-aged youth after school. And on Fridays, if you've been to one of our libraries on Fridays when school's not in session, we have programs available for students, and they're pretty busy. There's a lot of kids in there. We also offer outreach services to members of the community who are homebound. We visit our local senior centers and partner with local school districts for early literacy projects. The mission of the Sweetwater County Library System is that the library improves the quality of life in our communities. I definitely believe that we are fulfilling that mission. National Library Week is April 6th through the 12th, and during that week, we encourage all community members to stop by one of their Sweetwater County libraries to see what we have to offer. This month, in celebration of National Library Week, and for the theme of Drawn to the Library, we are encouraging community members of all ages to participate in a bookmark design contest. The winner from each age group of that contest will have their design printed and handed out during summer reading. So thank you for your support of your local libraries. I welcome many questions.
Okay, it looks like no questions. Dave's going to read your proclamation. Okay.
Daniel, too.
I mean, Daniel. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and read it. So the proclamation states, libraries spark creativity, fuel imagination, and inspire lifelong learning, offering a space where individuals of all ages can explore new ideas and be drawn to new possibilities. Libraries serve as vibrant community hubs, connecting people with knowledge, technology, and resources while fostering civic engagement, critical thinking, and lifelong learning. Libraries provide free and equitable access to books, digital tools, and innovative programming, ensuring that all individuals, regardless of background, have the support they need to learn, connect, and thrive. Libraries partner with schools, businesses, and organizations, connecting the dots to maximize resources, increase efficiencies, and expand access to essential services, strengthening the entire community. Libraries empower job seekers, entrepreneurs, and lifelong learners by providing access to resources, training, and opportunities that support career growth and economic success. Libraries nurture young minds through story time, STEM programs, and literacy initiatives, fostering curiosity and a love of learning that lasts a lifetime. Libraries protect the right to read, think, and explore without censorship, standing as champions of intellectual freedom and free expression. Dedicated librarians and library workers provide welcoming spaces that inspire discovery, collaboration, and creativity for all. Libraries, librarians, and library workers across the country are joining together to celebrate the National Library Week under the theme, Down the Library. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Max Mickelson, Mayor of the City of Rock Springs, do hereby declare the week of April 6th through the 12th of 2025 to be Library Week in Rock Springs, Wyoming, and encourage all residents to visit their library, explore its resources, and celebrate all the ways in which the library draws us together as a community.
Thank you.
Okay, the next one up will be National Public Safety Telecommunication Week. You'll do the next one. I'll get your name correct.
Good evening, Council. I'm David Halter. I'm the IT Director of the Sweetwater Combined Communications Center. Also have communicator Chantel Bolton and communicator Jen Buller. Just a few little things. We're celebrating our first responders. In 2024, our dispatchers answered approximately 64,000 calls, 15,000 of those which were 911 calls. They are able to provide life-saving CPR instructions and even help deliver babies over the phone while fire and medical are en route. They dispatch for 3 law enforcement agencies, 7 fire departments, and 2 ambulance services. We employ 4 crews with 5 communicators each, and they answer calls 24/7 and on holidays. So here receive the proclamation. I don't know if Jen or Chantel have anything else to add to that, but stand for any questions.
Okay.
I just want to thank you for your service and everything you do. I can imagine kind of being on that end of things and hearing some of these calls and what kind of maybe emotionally in that you go through. But being able to keep focused and straight mind in that and I guess coordinate the communication between first responders and getting those people the help they need, it's greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay,
Making it easy for
Council.
us.
Council Bingham will be reading the proclamation.
Thank you, Madam President. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services, and when an emergency occurs, that prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. And the safety of our police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone the 911 Communications Center. And public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services, and public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers, firefighters, and paramedics by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information, and ensuring their safety. And public safety telecommunicators of the Sweetwater Combined Communications Center have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients. And each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year. Now therefore be resolved that I, Max Mickelson, Mayor of the City of Rock Springs, do hereby declare April 13th through the 19th, 2025 to be National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in the City of Rock Springs, and I call upon the Rock Springs community to observe this week and celebrate our public safety telecommunicators whose diligence and professionalism keep our community safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And this is for all groups.
I also want to add that we do appreciate your support, knowing that Rock Springs does have the bigger share of their funding. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for the money.
That's right.
There you go. We'll trade off. This morning we traded off phones. How are you? You get to hold. You're holding on me. I'm gonna stand.
Can you see everybody?
Yes. We got this practice this year.
Hey, thank you for this.
Okay, you can say 1, 2, 3, read. 1, 2, 3. Read. You get it? Okay. You're welcome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Joint communication group. There you go. That works.
Oh, okay. And he was also around. Did you see that? Nice job.
Yeah, told me.
Yeah. Hey, David. One way or come in, honey, because how's that? Oh, perfect.
There you go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
Randy, good to see you, man.
Dave, thank you.
You're on the home stretch, Dean.
My ability to defend myself in a situation.
Okay, now we're going to open it up to petitions. If anyone wants to discuss the Civic Center, we will have that open on April 15th. So this is about chickens and goats. And if you've already spoken to us, we'd like you to not speak again if you don't have to, unless you have something new to tell us.
Hi guys, I'm Amanda Margrave. I am pro-chicken. I have a few comments about chickens that I have not discussed yet. I wanted to address the largest opposition that we've heard about chickens, which has been the avian flu. And I wanted to point out a couple of research points while also validating that this is a concern. According to a recent NPR article published March 18th of this year, avian flu has not impacted Canadian farms as heavily as American farms. The reasons are because Canada is generally colder and the barns are sealed tighter, and which makes Avian flu, less likely to get into them. And Canadian bird farms are generally smaller than American bird farms. Avian flu is transmitted via contact from bird to human, so it will not infect neighbors without chickens unless they are physically handling neighboring birds. Persons handling their own birds should be aware of their own sanitation and PPE needs. The University of Wyoming Extension offers guidance on recognizing avian flu precautions to take and steps to take if you believe your flock may be infected. In addition, Wyoming has had only one person this year who has been infected with the avian flu. Another big opposition that we heard was from animal control, being concerned about the increased cost of surrendered birds and increased policing efforts. I contacted animal control officers in Green River, Evanston, Laramie, Gillette, and Cheyenne. All of those animal control officers have said that chickens are an extremely minimal amount of policing. For instance, Laramie received 5 surrendered birds last year, and they were all adopted the next day. Cheyenne reported that they took 13,000 total animal control calls in the last 3 years, and only 200 were regarding chickens. Green River reports that they received 11 calls about chickens in 2024. Evanston reports that they don't take surrendered chickens at all, and it's up to residents to rehome their own chickens. Gillette reports that they have had minimal policing efforts, including very low total calls, but they couldn't give me solid numbers. There is a worry from people that there are people that will get chickens and there'll be too much work to take care of. I want to point out the very high initial investment cost of chickens, which can be upwards of $900. People aren't going to make that initial investment cost and just give up on it. There are a lot of people that worry that chickens will be allowed to live in unsanitary conditions. I want to point out that people get backyard chickens to produce a product. If the flock is not kept healthy, they will not produce the product. It behooves residents to keep their flocks healthy. Americans make, on average, 300 pounds of food waste per year. Chickens eat nearly all food scraps. A family with chickens essentially keeps 300 pounds of waste per year out of landfills, which has the potential to extend the life of a landfill. There is a potential economic impact for Rock Springs businesses. Residents could buy coops, feeders, feed even chicks from businesses such as Wool Warehouse or Murdoch's. And lastly, I wanted to highlight a statement from Annie Wedgwood, who is the owner-broker of Altitude Real Estate. She said that there has been prospective residents of Rock Springs who have opted to buy homes in Green River because we don't allow chickens here. Although this is not a common occurrence, it's also not a one-off. And that's all I have to say. Does anybody have any questions?
Madam President?
Yeah.
Hi, Amanda. Thanks for being here. When you were stating some of the facts on avian flu, was there any numbers as far as you had a number on as far as contracting it from a bird, but how about human to human? Is there any reported cases?
There are no reported cases of human to human transmission.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. And then the other question I've got, do you have any stats from Green River as far as?
Green River, and I don't, if I could pull up because I talked to the animal control officer. She was extremely helpful. Let me pull it up here really fast. Okay. So she said, and I spoke to her on the 20th of last month. She said that Green River has no restrictions on any type or number of birds. They allow roosters. They allow all sorts of types of fowl. The officer I spoke to said that several of our council members have called and spoken to animal control there, as well as residents. She said they had 11 total calls and that their existing ordinances allow animal control to address nuisance concerns, such as smell or noise. She said that it's generally as easy as having a conversation with the bird owners and they take care of it. She said that this is what she said, but she said that our proposed regulations seem pretty ridiculous, because they have no restrictions over there and they have very minimal issues. She also said we love chickens and wished us luck.
Thank you. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Madam Chair.
And I don't, this is not generally for you, it's a general question, because I don't know, but if we look at Green River and that, does anybody know, or has anybody heard what, approximately how many residents actually have chickens?
That is a good question. I don't know any stats on that.
I think we get in our mind that we're going to be overflowing with chickens, but I don't think there's really going to be that many people who actually do it. So.
I think that's probably pretty true. I mean, just buying a chick at like a Baumgart's, they're $5 a piece, and that doesn't even count building a coop or buying a coop and a run and feeders and feed and all of the stuff that goes into it. And there's no guarantee that your $5 chick is going to live. So, yeah, I don't think a lot of people will actually get chickens, honestly. Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to approach the podium? Oh, okay.
Thank you for letting me speak. My name's Tom Gagnon. I live in the Lowell subdivision, and I'm here to brag that I have 300 friends. They're goats. They're working for all of us right now as we speak. Okay. And they're doing a pretty good job. And I just want to say that over the last few years, I mean, I started advocating cleaning up Bitter Creek, particularly near the 9th Street Bridge, probably 15 years ago, might even be 18 years ago. And in the last few years, we made a lot of progress. A couple of years ago, we had that big winter, as you'll recall, and I spoke here. And you guys actually came through and sent in a dozen people from D. Bernardi Construction to clean up obstructions by the 9th Street Bridge. And what we have going on right now with these goats is sort of an extension of that. And I commend all of you for it. After about 45 years of political advocacy in my life, this is what I would consider my one success. The nuclear plant got built. But anyway, going on, I just kind of want to talk about, I don't really have any information about health and all that. I'm not a very scientific person. I don't know anything about that. Okay, but there is an inherent contradiction going on here. Okay, because think about it. We don't really need my friends, the goats. Okay, we could just bomb that creek with a bunch of herbicides and all that. But ask yourself this, why are we not doing that? Anybody? What would there be any, pardon? It flows into the Green River, right. So if we were to put a lot of herbicides right on the creek, we'd be creating water pollution, right? Some of these herbicides, like say Roundup, for example, I know cause things like little guys like frogs, for instance, sometimes be born with 5 or 6 legs. Causes fish to be malformed. There's also evidence that it's really bad for pregnant women, and possibly some children born with birth defects may be the result of things like Roundup. Okay. Now, extending from that, the contradiction is, as I've just learned from all of you, the city is contemplating spending $145,500.52 on weed spray for the city. Okay. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and every year we go through this song and dance. All over the city in the spring, we see these greenish tint patches on all the sidewalks and on all the sort of vacant land areas, okay? But this is a really short-sighted practice, because there's always some weeds you don't get, and there's this thing called drift, okay? And it's simply where a certain amount of weed spray will drift to an area that has weeds, but not in a sufficient quantity to actually kill those weeds. But those weeds do take in some, and they become stronger the next year. Their seeds are more resistant to the same quantity of weed spray needed to kill them. Now, according to studies that I've read about in Australia, weeds can double their resistance to weed spray in less than 20 years. So, and about the time I've lived here since 2005, the weeds are already twice as strong as they were when I first moved here. Another bragging point, in the alley behind my house, I personally maintain about 200 feet of ground that if I were not maintaining it, there would be weeds by the end of the summer 4 to 5 feet tall. Because I know that when I first lived there, that's what it was. I personally do that. I know I have other neighbors who also go around cutting down weeds and stuff. But I just want to advocate, that it seems like there's this double standard here. We're not putting weed spray on the creek because of health concerns, but yet we put them around our houses. I'm appalled that local retailers are allowed to even sell this stuff, and all of that. And also, when you kill just standing weeds, big weeds, they're actually a pretty flammable fire hazard. I'm sure the fire department understands that. And this is something that, if we're going to spend $145,000, can't we just hire some summertime employees to, say 5 employees or something, to go around all summer long, removing weeds manually? They can make believe they're goats or something. I'll even do it. I'll volunteer to do it for free, as I'm already doing. Okay. So I guess that's my gripe this evening, is the coming season of spraying for weeds, okay, because it's counterproductive. With time, those weeds get stronger and stronger. So it's a waste of money. I think we could be providing a few decent summer jobs, just having people go around cutting down weeds. I have a feeling I'm going to lose this one. But at the very least, if people are going around spraying weeds, if there's one 3-inch tall weed growing up in a crack in the sidewalk, don't spray it. That's just stupid. It's wasteful. Just leave it alone or step on it or something, and it'll be gone. So, let's not try to solve a problem by creating another problem, because the consequences could be somebody's health, or some child being born, with 6 legs or something. So that's about all I have to say. Are there any questions?
Any questions?
No.
No questions.
Thank you very much.
Is there anybody else that would like to speak to us? Okay, petitions are closed. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hi, everyone. I am Animal Control Officer Candy Folks, and I'm here to talk about the chickens. I just want you guys to know I don't have an opinion on the chickens. They can have them, they cannot have them. But this is what we're dealing with the shelter right now, and this is our main concern. So our building is not the greatest. It is not very big. It's kind of falling apart. So I just want to let you guys know that if we do get chickens, which, we don't get a lot of chicken calls, but we've had a few of people that weren't supposed to have chickens in city limits, and they still did, and we have picked up their chickens. I have no safe spot to put these chickens. So just for clarification, in the month of January, we had a total of 51 dogs in the shelter. 51. We have a total of 19 kennels. So we had dogs in bathrooms. We had dogs doubled up. We had dogs in crates because we had that much. And then also we had 41 cats at the same time. We only have 35 kennels for cats. So once again, we are doubling up. If we were to get chickens as of right now, we have no safe spot to put a chicken. We kind of just put them where we can, and we move animals around, and we let animals go outside for a little bit, and then it's a whole shuffle game of taking care of these animals. And then just to let you know that oh crap, now I lost my train of thought. Okay, so we'll just go to the next one. So as you guys know, we are bigger than Green River. We're like 23,000. Last time I looked was in 2023. They said we had 23,000 population. Green River is smaller than us. But Green River also has 2 full-time ACOs and 2 part-time ACOs. As of now, I am the only ACO. We do have a hire, but until he's able to get on his own, it's just me and him training. So, and once again, I mean, we don't get a lot of chicken calls, but when we do, we're also dealing with 23,000. Well, let's break it down. Let's say only half of the population in Rock Springs has animals. I'm trying to deal with 11,000 different 11,000 calls or people's animals at the facility. And then another issue that we have that has kind of come up, they will want us to do zoning and planning would like us to go and measure and make sure that the measurements for the chicken coop are proper. Once again, just me and one ACO in training. I cannot go and measure a chicken coop to make sure that the people who want it are placing it properly where it needs to be. Another one is, in the city of Rock Springs, you are not allowed to kill. You're not allowed to kill or poison any animal. Unfortunately, I know that some of the chicken people who sell chickens, they try to make sure that the chickens that you get are hens, but sometimes you do get roosters in those. I mean, it's usually maybe 1 out of 10 that you get or something like that. So if somebody gets a chicken, they are not allowed to kill it in city limits. So either they have to take it out to county and they have to kill it there if they do, or they will surrender that chicken to us. Once again, we don't have room. We've had 2 roosters that were found out in county that we've held on for 10 days. We're unable to get anybody to take that rooster. So one of our front desk girls, her family has a ranch down in Utah. She took the roosters down there. So we may have to deal with a few roosters just from there. And then also, chickens do bring in some varmints, so you'll have your mice. And it is weird to think about, but we are seeing an increase in raccoons. I have removed almost 10 raccoons last year. So we're going to start seeing raccoons coming in. We'll have skunks. We'll have foxes. And unfortunately, we will have coyotes coming into town also. I did see a coyote the other day carrying a cat off in its mouth, and it came from city limits. So we just want people to be aware that if you guys do pass and they are building a chicken coop, it definitely has to be more secure. The food needs to be put up better. Even though the chickens can scratch, they'll cause food to go everywhere. And then also, oh crap, now I forgot it. Oh yeah, so sorry, I don't like public speaking. The chief of police also informed me, and I just wanted to throw this out too. If someone does build a chicken coop and we start getting complaints about it not being proper or anything, and I go ask them to see if I can measure it, and they tell me to go pound sand, I am not allowed on their property, that is more time for us to have to go get a warrant and sign it by the judge and go back with police officers. So it's wasting kind of our time, and then it's also wasting the officers' time to do a job that's more important than measuring a freaking chicken coop. I didn't mean to say freaking, sorry. Sorry, so sorry. But yeah, do you guys have any questions? Sorry.
Candy, I just wanted to say thank you for working as hard as you guys do, and you guys do a heck of a job for the facility that you have and for the amount of manpower that you have. I'll note that a month from today, I guess, the city council will be coming out and take a look at the facility and walk around, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you for the comments. I know it's
Thank you.
sometimes difficult to stand
Yeah.
up in public and talk, but I do realize, yes, our animal control is under a lot of pressure, and we have a lot of constraints there as far as building size and everything else.
Yeah.
And that's hopefully something we can address here in the future. And I do appreciate everything you guys do. You do, as being the only one, I guess. But we'll do our best to get more people there and help you out.
Yeah. And I do want to, I just want to kind of throw this out. I mean, let's just say that, like I said, 11,500 people in the city of Rock Springs own animals. We only sell 2,500 city licenses. So that's saying 9,000 people right now are not following the city ordinances regarding their dogs and chickens. We are concerned of what will happen with the chickens if they don't keep them clean, all that stuff. So, I mean, we deal with a lot of animals, and we deal with a lot of not very responsible pet owners. And I mean, chickens are easy, but they definitely are a lot more work to making sure that they clean their chicken coops, making sure they have food, and making sure that they don't escape. And we do have a lot of stray dogs, and that's another big reason we do have a lot of stray dogs, and I would hate to see a dog break into a chicken coop, and it would kill all their chickens. And unfortunately, they can't do anything to protect their property like you can in county. So they would lose all their chickens, and they unfortunately would have to start all over again. So, any questions?
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You're forgiven.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, we're closing petitions. That brings us to bills and claims. Bills and claims for April 1st, 2025. Do I have a motion?
Your Honor, I move to approve the bills and claims for April 1st, 2025.
Okay, thank you. A second?
Second?
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
I'll be abstaining. Abstaining.
Okay, that moves us to salaries for March 21st, 2025. Do I get a motion?
Your Honor, move to approve the salaries for March 21st, 2025.
Okay, do I get a second?
Second?
Thank you. Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Abstaining.
Abstaining.
Okay. Now that brings us to new business. Request from the municipal court for permission to fill a vacant court clerk, senior court clerk position. Can I get a motion?
Your Honor, I move that we approve this request.
Okay. Do I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay. Then we have a request from the Civic Center for permission to fill a vacant recreation supervisor position. Can I get a motion?
Your Honor, I'd move to approve that request.
Councilman Zadi, thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Hanson. Any discussion?
Your Honor. So if this gets approved and down the line we end up closing the Civic Center, is that going to put us with too much top-heavy supervision at the rec center when they all move over, if they move over?
This is definitely not a higher level recreation supervision. It's entry level. And I think in other places I've mentioned that throughout the years since the rec center's open, they're also down 5 full-time positions. So there are definite places. Plus, if there is a situation where the Civic Center closes, there would be still our external programming that we would need to take care of, external pools, outdoor pools, external programming. And there'll be a need, probably because of the need for extra gym space and finding partners to do that, where we'll need these positions to go into our community. So I anticipate very much needing this position, but I would also say that if this does go through and we combine and we can see a position for, or we're an opportunity for attrition to right size that piece of Parks and Rec, that we could take a close look at that time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, our next one up is a request from the Park and Rec Department to amend the outdoor fee schedule. Can I get a motion?
Your Honor, I move to approve this request.
Thank you, Mr. Hickerson. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, and now we have a request from the Urban Renewal Agency for permission to reapply for the Creative West 2025 Accessibility Mini Grant to replace the existing assistant listening system instead of the chairlift at the Broadway Theater in the amount of $750.
Your Honor, I do have a question on this, Matt. I know I meant to call and ask about this earlier, but why are we changing from the mini to the lift to the, do you know?
Your Honor, Councilor Zadi, I guess a couple of reasons. The cost came in a lot more expensive than we had anticipated, so we were kind of going back to the drawing board. Sorry, Freudian slip there. Secondly, we didn't think we'd be able to get the chair, even if we did have the funding, we're able to move forward, and you allowed us to move forward with that replacement. We didn't think we could get it scheduled timely enough to fulfill the grant requirements, because it has to be spent by a certain date, and installed by a certain date, sorry.
Okay, thank you. I'll move to approve the request.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Zadi. Could I get a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Petrie. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay. And this brings us to the last request of our new business, request from the Sweetwater Events Complex for 5 malt beverage permits for Wyoming Big Show on July 29th through the 30th of 2025 from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. and July 31st through August 2nd, 2025 from noon to midnight at the Sweetwater Events Complex Midway. Can I get a motion?
Your Honor,
Counselor Hanson?
I move to approve this request.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Bingham. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Going to abstain. I'm a board member of the fence complex.
Okay. Okay, that brings us to resolutions. Our first resolution is 2025-33.
A resolution accepting and approving a dedication agreement form from Shear Properties LLC and Arizona Limited Liability Company, and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor of the city of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk of the city of Rock Springs to execute said agreement on behalf of the city.
Okay, can I get a motion?
Move to approve resolution 2025-33.
Thank you, Counselor Hickerson. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Hanson. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay. Now that brings us to Resolution 2025-34.
A resolution accepting and approving a grant from the Sweetwater County Joint Travel and Tourism Board for the shootout in the Springs basketball tournament, and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor of the city of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to execute said grant document on behalf of said city.
Can I get a motion?
Your Honor,
Counselor Hanson?
I move to approve this resolution.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Counselor Thompson? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay. Now it brings us to Resolution 2025-35.
A resolution accepting and approving a concession stand rental agreement with the Rock Springs Little League Baseball, and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor of the city of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk of the city of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to execute said agreement on behalf of the city.
Can I get a motion?
I'll move to approve the resolution.
Thank you, Counselor Zadi. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Hanson. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, that brings us to Resolution 2025-36.
A resolution accepting and approving an amended art purchase agreement between D.A. Clark Sculpture LLC and the city of Rock Springs, and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk to execute said amended agreement on behalf of the city of Rock Springs.
Can I get a motion?
Your Honor, I'll move to approve resolution 2025-36.
Thank you, Counselor Hickerson. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Zadi. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, that brings us to our ordinance tonight, which is Ordinance 2025-05. And this is our third reading.
An ordinance amending Article 3.5 of the ordinances of the city of Rock Springs entitled Humane Control and Regulation of Animals.
Can I get a motion?
Your Honor,
Counselor Zadi?
I would like to move to table ordinance 2025-05 for really main reason is the kind of committee that was put together by the mayor is still going through some information and trying to collect all they can before making a recommendation. And so until that decision is made by the committee, I would like to table the ordinance.
Okay, can I get a second on that?
Second.
Counselor Thompson? Thank you. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Your Honor.
Any
And a roll
opposed?
call. Roll
Oh,
call.
it's roll call. I'm sorry. I'm
Mayor's rubbing off on you.
trying to get it done.
Counselor Malonis.
Roll call
Roll call
on the tabling
on
of
tabling of
the.
it.
I agree, yes.
Bingham.
Aye.
Pedri.
Yes.
Demus.
Yes.
Zadi.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Hickerson.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now council updates. Does anyone have anything they've been doing?
Just to update, that chicken committee meets on the 9th, so we'll have more information after that.
And I went to the Mayor's Art Award on March 27th. It was a good turnout. Okay, looks like we're adjourned.
And you did.